understand.
naiwe shinge asongogara ukatobata foni naiwe kungobatidza YouTube nekutoti pe asongo ukatobata foni here
The people who are developing in Harare right now, it's private people. All the buildings that you are seeing that are in Harare right now, it's private people. People are coming from Israel, Belarus, China. Just hold on there. Let me tell you, here we speak the truth, guys. The government is doing nothing. The government has failed also even to run the municipality in Harare. I think Harare right now they're drinking, they are the ones who are drinking the dirtiest water in Zimbabwe. It's sewage after sewage in Harare. There's no pipes, there's nothing in Harare. So right now they resort to, they give the tender to the, what is this company, man? The ones that is taking care of the seat now. I'm not sure. But if you can check, majority of the people who are building, let's say, the buildings in Harare, it's a private people, private people from China. You see, so it's not about the government. The government has failed in all facets of life. So people, they see developments in Harare, they say no, it is the government. No. Those are private individuals.
Who employed them?
They are told that you must come to Harare and take gold in Matebele land, build Harare. That's what they were told. Because when they are coming, sister, they are coming to Harare to stay in Harare, but to invest in Harare. But where they get money is way in Matebele land. They just kill our roads.
Mr. Nyat, let us not be emotional. You are from Matebele land. I'm from Harare. I'm telling you what is happening in Matebele land. I'm not denying what is happening in Blawayo. So if I'm telling you what is happening in Harare, you must also listen to me. Because I'm also listening to you when you're telling me what is happening in Matebele land, right? We are not here to compete about who is doing better, who's doing worse. I'm telling you the situation in Harare. If you go to Harare, if you see buildings that are being built, those are private individual. Go and check the estates that are being built in Harare, and then you check if there's any government involvement there.
But your government is the one who employed those people. You can't come to another country and then you started to build your own business without informing.
Yes.
Listen, big
Can I make a contribution, please?
Yeah,
I won't be long.
Just hold on. Proof. If you're an investor, right? If you're a millionaire, if you're going to South Africa, you go and look for opportunity there. The government, they tell you, go around and check where do you want to do a business. You can't take a mall, you build it in a place where there are no less population. So if you can check, the majority of the people who are building in Harare, those are investors. They go around the country, they check where are the people. You can't take a mall you build in Mbuyera where there are no people.
So are you telling me it's Matebele?
No, I'm not talking about Matebele. I'm talking about the investors. You have the right to choose. You can't say, just hold on. Do you know how investment work?
I'm not sure about that, but
let me tell you how it works.
Addressing the complaints of
Let me tell you how it works.
Kushuko and Nyati.
Let me tell you how it works. If you're coming from outside the country, you're going to another country for investment. You go around, you look for what you call opportunities in that country. Let's say you want to build a mall. You can't take a mall, you build a mall, let me just say $100 billion mall. Let me just say in a small town like Marondera, where there are less than 500,000 people. Who's going to buy that? So you
But
take
you
your
put
mall to where the
government.
people are.
But at first you are starting to government, bro. You can't come and then you say I have money, I can even go and build. You must talk to the government. But the government who's they are from Mashonaland also. A lot of them they are Dishoners, so that's why us we are crying as people of Matebeleland.
My brother, you can't tell any investor what to do with their money. They do what they want with their money.
Okay.
You can go ahead, that guy.
Brother,
Nyati, I won't be long. I won't be long, sir. Can I just?
they come to Matebeleland where there is minerals. They take those minerals. They go and stay with the government there in Harare, because Matebeleland is just a place whereby they can get only minerals. That is that is the thing. We cannot run away from something that we know. These people, when they come to Zimbabwe, which is the capital city in Zimbabwe, is Harare. They come to Zimbabwe, they speak with government. When they finish to speak with government, they take them, they show them where they can get minerals. Then they will come and stay in where, because Mtwagas is not a good place for them to stay.
You know, Mr. Nyati, the one thing that's going to make the people of Matebeleland always lose in the grand scheme of things is the emotional response that they usually have to the political movements in their vicinity. For instance, let's talk about the constitution of the government of Zimbabwe as a whole. If, in fact, in any country, if the majority in a country is, for instance, let's say the blue people are a majority in a country, it is expected that.
According to you,
can I just make this point? I haven't said anything that you can really agree or disagree with. So if you have a majority of a blue people in this state and a minority of red people, it is expected that the blue people will be the majority in the government of that state by virtue of them having the numbers. So if in this regard in Zimbabwe, they have more Shona-speaking people, by virtue of the population demographic representation, there is a higher chance that there is going to be a higher number.
I don't speak this
is a propaganda, bruh.
Even this sister who's listening here, I think she's laughing at you. Why are you talking like this? No, you can't talk lies, man.
I am coming to my point.
Smith was there in Zimbabwe. When we grew up, we saw Blawayo was very nice. White people, they.
I am not saying Bulawayo was never nice.
Guys, listen, hold on, Mr. Guy, just hold on. Guys, if you don't want to listen to other people here, you must just leave. You must just leave. You can leave us alone. We are here to discuss the issues. So if somebody is making a submission, why don't just say yeah, like we are at a Shabin. This is not a Shabin. You can leave and you go wherever you can go ahead, my guy.
Okay, so this usually happens. Like, so it's expected that the more the people are in a state, the more they will be maybe in the power of that state. That does not mean it's the correct form of government. That simply means it's proportional or population representation. Now look at the developments in Harare or Bulawayo. Are going to be disparities ranging from population concentration and the commerce center. Bulawayo people have every right to be aggrieved by what's happening in Zimbabwe.
And so you remove me
By the way,
because I'm
Shona
from
people also have every right to be aggrieved by what's happening in Zimbabwe. It is a failing state. It is almost unfair that you have a lot of people disproportionately outside their country, like for instance, undocumented in South Africa, Zambia, wherever they are going. They are not leaving Zimbabwe because it's nice to just leave Zimbabwe. They are leaving because the state of Zimbabwe or the government of Zimbabwe is failing. And that is unfair to be led by people that are constantly failing you regardless of the resources being available. Now, many people would argue, we want an independent Mtwagazi. They are right to argue like that, but is it really the solution? Is it? Because remember, we come from a history of divide and conquer. When the Brits came to Zimbabwe, they did the very same thing. They drove a wedge between an African people that would otherwise intermarry, create communities that would actually get along because they knew that they were one people at the end of the day. But then they came, they divided and they ruled the country and they extracted the resources, they exploited the population. So are we really saying that in order for a progressive Zimbabwe to occur, we need to really divide the country so that we can get powers from outside to do what the Brits did, which you fought in the 60s and the 80s in order to get the independence that you have now? Is there no other solution, maybe federalism, that can literally help uplift the people of Zimbabwe and understand their livelihoods where they are? For instance, in South Africa, you have Zulu-speaking people. They are traditionally different to Xhosa-speaking people or Sotho-speaking people. So federalism would help conserve what it means to be a Zulu person and also conserve what it means to be Pedi or Tswana, at the same time ensuring mutual respect amongst these groups of people under one nation. And I don't believe that project is impossible for Zimbabwe or any other country in Africa that has these tribes that live under the same flag. Zimbabwe is no exception. Zimbabwe used to be a beautiful country. What happened in Zimbabwe. But I don't think dividing an African people instead of finding common ground and actually making people understand that our enemy is not each other, it's poverty. It's the way the people that are in power are leading us. Ordinary Shona people do not have a dog in the fight in as much as the ordinary Ndebele people would like to believe, or the ordinary Shona people would like to believe that Ndebeles are. The problem of Zimbabwe is that of poverty, is that of underdevelopment, is that of neglect by the people that are in power. The same argument would be advanced if the Ndebele people were a majority in Zimbabwe and they were doing what ZANU-PF, which is majority Shona, is doing. So the people of Zimbabwe have a governance problem, and it can never be solved by dividing those people. Because when you divide those people, the Matabele land will have to form new governments, will have to raise new revenues, they'll have to have state recognition, they will have to pull resources that they currently do not have, whereas they have a blueprint, a country called Zimbabwe, that they can contribute to and make work. Now, I'm not saying this can be done overnight. Freedom fighters would know. There is no perfect blueprint on the rulership of the country, but dividing one's land is worse. It leads to bloodshed. It leads to a lot of things that would otherwise not happen had an alternative route been explored. Zimbabwe is a suffering state, and South Africa is witness to that. And Namibia and Mozambique and all the other neighbors of Zimbabwe are a witness to the suffering of Zimbabwe. Further dividing that country is not going to help even its neighbors or the people within the country. But the government needs to move. The government of Zimbabwe is failing of Zimbabwe, regardless of which tribe is in charge of Zimbabwe. It could be Shona people. They are failing. Even if it were the Ndebele people, if they are failing, the people of Zimbabwe collectively have a right to say, hey, but the Ndebele people who are in the government are failing us, or the collective of both Ndebele, Shona, and Kalanga, whatever tribes that are found in Zimbabwe, are failing the people of Zimbabwe. It's not Shona and the Ndebele thing. It's a Zimbabwe problem. The more you guys unite to fight for your country, the better for everyone. When your child meets when your Ndebele son meets a Shona lady, they shouldn't be discussing their differences. They should be discussing how great Zimbabwe can be if these two people who have no dog in the fight for the government of Zimbabwe were to unite. The country of Zimbabwe equally belongs to the people of Zimbabwe.
Can I ask a question before I talk?
Thank you.
Okay. I want to understand, as that guy is saying, that guy, where are you from? That guy?
Yes,
Where are you from?
I am from South Africa.
Are you a South African?
A South African by birth, a South African by descent. Yeah.
Okay, because I was listening to your accent, but okay.
Story.
So, what I want to understand, I can hear you saying dividing is not the solution, but remember, if the Ndebeles, they are the ones that are raising these issues, and the Shonas are quiet, where is the solution is going to come from? Because others are quiet. It means that they agree with what the government of Zimbabwe is doing because of maybe, I don't know, any tribal sentiment, or maybe just because the Shona is the president. I don't know. But I want to understand what is the solution, because it looks like the Shonas, they don't have a problem. Whether they are suffering, they will be suffering and smiling because the president is a Shona guy. Remember, we don't have that in South Africa. If you are doing nonsense, you're doing nonsense. We don't care where are you coming from, whether you are our tribe or what. So this issue of Zim is too deep because by the look of things, Shonas don't have a problem. They will be suffering and smiling because the president is a Shona. So what is the solution going forward? Because people are living in a country every day, nothing is developing, people are suffering, but the other tribe is not willing to start and say, guys, we don't care whether a Shona is the president is a Shona or what, is our brother, we don't care, let us unite and fight the government. They are not interested. So what is the solution? Because if you are saying division is not the solution, so but others, they don't see a problem. So what will be the solution going forward?
Ma'am, let's firstly speak the truth about this. So in Zimbabwe, we all know that the SADC Commission, I don't know if it was the last election. I stand corrected, so please don't hit me a lot. I stand corrected. So the opposition party in Zimbabwe actually won the election. Now, I want to bring your attention to the fact that it's not only Ndebele people that had voted for that opposition party to win. It actually needed the Shona people in order to be able to win. But then they were not, the officials in Zimbabwe did not relinquish the power to the opposition party. So now this speaks to the sentiment of both the Shona people and the Ndebele. Both these people are seeing the wrong that the state is doing. So that means the Shona people themselves are not happy by the mere fact that the president is Shona. They are also suffering the same thing as the Ndebele people. But then it's very much easy when the suffering has a face that does not belong to your own tribe to say the Shona people are oppressing us and whatnot simply because their president is Shona. MTC would not have won the election if the Shona people had not decided to vote for it as well. So that means the suffering is going both ways. In fact, in South Africa, we experience both Shonas and Ndebeles, which means they are both suffering the same fate under the same rulership. So it will then be very wrong to say a poor Shona person from, say, Harare is better than a poor person from Gweru, south of Zimbabwe. Both of those people are poor and they want better governance, which is why at some point they decided to vote for a different person. Now that that was me establishing that both of them are suffering, both tribes in Zimbabwe, both major tribes in Zimbabwe are suffering. Now let's come to the point where people literally want to divide Zimbabwe. So the basis for the division of Zimbabwe then is negated by the very fact that these people are capable of uniting and voting out the state in as far as the democratic process, which the current ruling class does not adhere to. So what now we can establish is that we have a problem in Zimbabwe as a collective Zimbabwean people, both Shonas and Ndebeles, of people that are dictating to the greater majority of the people of Zimbabwe who are suffering the same fate. Poverty is poverty, whether it's in Harare or Bulawayo or Victoria Falls. Poverty is poverty, hunger is hunger, and it knows no bounds. So all I'm saying is, if you're saying you must divide the country of Zimbabwe, you then are going to throw another wrench in the engine of Zimbabwe. Now they have got to contend with more problems where now people have to lose their lives in the pursuit of something that might not exist. So all I'm saying, in Zimbabwe, the problem that they're having is the ruling elite that is currently under the ZANU-PF government. There are Shonas who are sick and tired of that, believe it or not. In as much as the Ndebele people are sick and tired of it as well, Shona people as well. Everybody wants better hospitals, they want better schools, they want their kids to have brighter futures, they want business to thrive in the country. They all want the same thing the different groups in South Africa have. That's what the Zimbabweans want as well. The division that is being sown by the people that think going at it on their own is going to be better, it will not exist. White people came to Zimbabwe, they defeated the collective of the Zimbabweans. Now, if you want to divide that again, Chinese will come under the guise of investment and they will do what the white people did in Zimbabwe. Unite the people of Zimbabwe under one flag and deliver to all people equally. We all equally hate the power that is currently running Zimbabwe. It's illegitimate. We all know this. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go to Bushungo. We're gonna go to DJ. We're gonna go to Azbuye. Then we're gonna go to Prophet. Then we're gonna go to Nyati. So, Miss Kulit, I just want to ask you this question, right? You saying Shona people, they are quiet, they are comfortable. It seems as if they are comfortable with the situation. If I may ask you, based on your knowledge of Zimbabwe, have we ever had a credible election in Zimbabwe from 1980 to 2020? It's 2023. The answer is no. Never. Each and every election in Zimbabwe is disputed. Each and every election in Zimbabwe is disputed. And the majority of Zimbabweans, especially the Shona people, they view election as the only way of getting rid of the government. This thing of trying to raise arms and blah, 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 I don't want to lie. It's not even on our top 10 menu of our we are going to try to take out the government. So if the people from Atebeleland feel that, no, we have let them down, they want to move out of Zimbabwe, we wish them very well. But one problem that I do have is that whenever they want to address the government, they are so scared to address the government. They address the Shona people. They have nothing to say to the people of Zimbabwe. Or to the government of Zimbabwe. All they do is to attack Shona people. The government is there. The main men who orchestrated what you call the Gukura wound, Robert Mugabe, they leave him to die. They never take him to accountable. The main orchestrator of Gukura wound is there in Harare. They don't say anything about him. The only thing they do is Shona people. You know, these guys, they are so scared of him. I don't know why. So I'm just saying, guys, if you want to take on the Zimbabwean government, you can do it. Nobody's stopping you. But stop mentioning our names there because we are also suffering. If you want to join us, we can do it by peaceful means. Because we are not going to join hands with anyone to destroy Zimbabwe. We've got a few things that we have in the country that we can count and say, guys, this one is working, this one is working. So we are not going to embark on any war in Zimbabwe just to please a certain tribe. If you want to do it, guys, very well, you can do it. Nobody's stopping you. But whenever you want to hold guns, you can do it, but don't involve us.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. One submission before you give everyone. That point that you just raised, I wish to differ with you on that one. It is unfair because you also understand that in the democratic Zimbabwe, when the Ndebele people raised their voices, 20,000 of them had to die for raising that voice. So to absolve the inactivity of the inactivity of the Shona people, as if their silence is fair when the people of Matabeleland are complaining and equating it to them being.
naiwe shinge asongogara ukatobata foni naiwe kungobatidza chiti ndikasvika inotodzoka apa. Okay.
Harare. That's part of the Zimbabwean history. And Mnangagwa was in charge of the army even then. So in this regard, is quite insensitive to the history of the very same country we're talking about. Thank you.
No. Listen, Mr. Guy, right? Listen. It's not like I'm so insensitive of what is happening in Matabeleland. I don't have any problem if they want to move out of Zimbabwe. It's their right. But the one thing that I do have a problem with the people, especially of the MRP, I'm not addressing the Mtwaka's nation. I'm addressing the MRP. My brother, Go to their social media. Go. They don't address Mnangagwa. They don't even mention Mnangagwa in their address. The only thing they address is Shona people.
Mnangagwa
As
ni
if we've done
kisa.
anything wrong to them. I want to ask you, just hold on, Mr. Ka, I want to ask you, do you know the Marcana incident is in SA, right? You are from SA. I think you know about it.
I am aware of that incident.
Yes. Who was the president by the time the shootings happened?
It was Jacob Zuma who was the president then.
Okay. Why is it the people from SA, they don't say Zulu people, they analyze our brothers?
Because contrary, okay, so let me premise my answer on this. So, in this regard, what had happened in South Africa was that at the time of that happening, Cyril Ramaphosa was the deputy president and also had interests in Lonmin. That was an isolated incident that was done by the collective of the ANC. And remember, in the ANC, the representative democracy of South Africa allows everyone to form part of the government in as far as the allocation of the parliamentary seats are concerned. So in this regard, it will not equate to what ZANU-PF did to the people of Matabeleland in the 80s. It's two totally different scenarios.
So, Mr. Guy, if the government if the government embark on a mission, are we going to blame the entire population, or the tribe because of that?
In this regard, talking about Zimbabwe in isolation, the people of Matabeleland were killed in their numbers, and there were no Shona people that were disproportionately victims of that massacre that occurred in Zimbabwe. Therefore, when they speak in this regard, the owners, wait, sir, can I just finish? The owners of the massacre, unfortunately, were of a different tribe. So what I'm trying to get at is that when we talk about these things that happened, we mustn't lose sight of what really happened. So the people of Matabeleland have every right to fear the reprisals from the government because of the track record of the government that is led, unfortunately, by the Shona tribe. I'm not trying to be biased here, but we're just putting history into context. Thank you.
But listen, my brother. If the government did something, so are we going to blame the entire, I don't know how many millions of Shona people? In Shona people, it's not only one people. It's a group of tribes. So are you going to blame the entire population just because of the decisions that were made by people who are in power? So if the people from Matabeleland, right? If the people from Matabeleland, they're so agreed, what happened was wrong. Why are they attacking the ordinary, vulnerable, poor, Shona people who are in the same situation like them? Instead of us to hold each other and say, guys, let us fight the same system that imprisoned you. You are attacking the vulnerable people. What are you saying?
Let me contextualize the different countries, sir, because
can I assist you with that guy? Let me assist you. Let me respond.
Just a moment, sir.
We're gonna have this back and forth for the longest.
No, I just wanna change the context a bit and then let you speak. So, in South Africa, we had a problem with the apartheid government. The black people of South Africa, when they fought the white supremacist government under the apartheid, they blamed the majority of the white people in time. When that when the freedom fighting was going on, we had like Joe Slovo, who was white and the member of the Communist Party. We had Helen Joseph, we had Ruth First, we had a lot of white people. Dr. Bears Nadia, we had a lot of white people. Dr. Bears Nadia, we had
Yeah.
Bagoti. Anoda kuti ndijeke baba Agoti. Muona baba Agoti musangano redu iri baba Agoti. Mukanatsa kuzviitira mune chimwe chibhaibheri chirimo so chokuti basa afunda tsananguro zvakanaka ka. Mutofunga kuti ndonyaya yane vakatumwa. Asi chibhaibheri musangano medu muchidini chirimo zvototi mimi mukabatwa pamusoro muri musangano rechibhaibheri. Mutofunga kuti ndizvo.
Saka baba unokumbira kuti bhaibheri futi rakarambwa.
Musananguro dzedu isusu bhaibheri ativereki bhaibheri.
Ramuti bhaibheri nderipi?
Magwara akanyorwa.
Ndiani zviri kubvunza
magwara akanyorwa ari mutsananguro here?
Ndiani zviri kubvunza kuti saka bhaibheri rakarambwa?
Baba CJ mirai munzwe ndoti ndipatsanuro chakarambirwa bhaibheri chi.
Chandatoona kusangano muno mumwe mune ndatoona kuti mune vakasiyana vasina kufunga
sei tisingaverengi bhaibheri kumasowe
kuti chauya kunodzidza kuya kunopanda nauye kuya kunopana haisi nhau yekusiyana apostori ii nhau yekuti vanhu vari kupana vachidzidza tavaya kunodzidza
pandira ujeka ndepekuti mudanga mukati mbudzi mombe madhirongi zvinogona kunetsa kuzozviseparata zvinhu izvozvo. Saka mombe dzikamira dziri mombe dzinogona kuziva, mbudzi dzikamira dziri mbudzi dzinogona kuziva.
madzibaba sei tisingaverengi bhaibheri madzibaba?
ndomubvunza ndabvunza uri simple zingaite
ndosandati pamberi pedu isusu pane izwi mweya mutsvene ndo riri kuparidza vanhu.
Saka kuti bhaibheri rinonyorwa nemweya mutsvene?
Bhaibheri rakanyora nevanhu madzibaba. Izwa bhaibheri madzibaba, mweya mutsvene hauna kunyora bhaibheri madzibaba. Mweya mutsvene hauna kunyora bhaibheri, chakanyora bhaibheri ihanganwa dzevanhu.
akauya
zvirimo here mutsananguro dzedu zvamataura izvozvo?
Ko makambonzwa ri pane vanje apo izi rakati nyanga tichatatsa vanhu kunamata bhaibheri pane vanje makambopanzwa
madzibaba tati seiko tisingaverengi bhaibheri kumasowe?
Uyu baba uyu anenge wegrade 1 moziva ukanyanya kutandara nevanhu wegrade 1 imi uri magrade 7 hazvifambi zvakanaka. Kubvunzo wake ungori mumwe chete wekuti bhaibheri but uri kudarikwa aiwa ndiri kupa chamara kuti pari kudarikwa iwo anenge asina kuteerera here kana kuti kudii
munhu akadera achiti bhaibheri ndo mweya mutsvene iyo bhaibheri racho rakanyorwa nemweya mutsvene musiyana uri pake
ipapo
baba alaki regai nditseketutsi zvishoma zvada zvitseketutsi baba vajohani vachiuya vakati bhaibheri hatina kuriramba zvirimo pane zviri mutsananguro asi ndine zvandatumwa nababa zviri zvisiri mubhaibheri tera ini ndiri kuziva kune izwi renyu
akatobata bhaibheri Johani
makatobata
madzibaba idzodzo dzinenge dzokuti kwadzibaba Johani vakati bhaibheri madzibaba indopapo noti inhema idzodzo
mira iwo hauti inhemazve unobvunza kuti akaribata akadii
masikiro kana matangira zvamakanzwa inhema idzo madzibaba vana baba. Saka ndiani munhu achapa mumwe munhu ansa nekuti tese tiri mabofu pano tinongosekana hakuna munhu anouya nesolution chaiyo kana munhu
akabata bhaibheri
baba Goti ndopatataura kuti baba Goti ndopatataura kuti mutsananguro kana vanhu tikafunda zvakanaka ka tinogona kujekerwa asi dambudziko redu kufunda zvakawanda wanda.
Baba Robinson, imimi vanhu vatema panoimbiwa paya munenge makateerera remi izwi richimba kuti rapu
havatokuzivi kuimba kwacho
mato kumberi baba CJ baba Johani akabata bhaibheri achiti iri ndo nyanga huru inotadzisa izwi raMwari baba kufamba akabata bhaibheri
zvamamboti rakanyogwa nemweya mutsvene futi
ndaichibvunza ndikazvoti ari kuziva zvari kutaura here ID futi kababa Sei dio kaja kufu.
Haya baba sana kunyeba yao. Usikutoziva baba yao. Sana kunyeba tu seda. Usikutoziva yao baba yao.
Wanadai alipatisipa roho wa Mungu.
Baba yao anashwa tu postori. Huyu kwa.
Nashaka uma.
Ini baba dah kuenda. Ayo ada baba dosi boseka zangu ndo boseka zangu ka. But we nasi murumani sekesa.
But CJ unoziva zvongo chitaura izvo. CJ zvongo chida kutaura zvokuti raputika Babylon anoziva kuti ndimasegemba anga akutsekutidza nyaya yaMwari.
Dzikisire mwana.
Totara zamasegemba.
Wawana wakomana wangu wasipona zipana hapa. Waitukwa zvokuti pano waisa bonzoka. Kwanzi mwana wanyoka unenge usina kutukwa.
Baba CJ. Ndichitarisa muzera yenyu mese muri panapa muzera yenyu mese.
Yaonekwa sei muzera iyoyo baba.
Anenge ari nani anotombotaura tsananguro pakati penyu mese apa ndi CJ.
Maiona sei muzera iyi?
Unoona chete neudzamu hwekurerekera kutsananguro chete.
Baba.
Pakati kana
vana masegemba
vanenge tsananguro dza God knows tsananguro dzamunhangu. Dzamunhangu iwese.
Uzati baba. Baba Luka. Nyaya zvinoita pakunamata baba Luka.
Ngatikuisa madzosera madzimai anga achinzi madzimai Esther vaya. Vanga vaitwa nenhau kudarika iwe.
Baba kuri napana kana 1 nyaya yotomboisa izvo.
Uyu baba atongopinda
ndotamisho grade 1.
Uyu atongopinda nemafanizo.
Saka zvinhu zvinenge zvichida kuti mumbodzeya mazva ari kutaurwa nevanhu. Isusu tinenge tavaka mubvunzo kuti vanhu, kune vanhu vazhinji vakatoteerera, kune 10 iri pawaiting apo inenge
ichibaba vanhu vakanaka mupostori.
mazwi ekuti tinyaso kutoisa rugwaru nemafundiro atinoita pamasangano aya. Panhau yandabvunzira iyoyo ishwa zvinhu zvinobuda nemwaka idzi, taifunga kuti kune vamwe vanhu vane ruzivo rwakadarikidza vatinoziva izvo. Tinenge tichingobatawo neniwo ndobva ndaisa rwangu ruzivo rwandinarwo. Saka vanhu manje kunozokudza vanhu vanonwa ndoro vanoita zvavo zvanenge vachiita, vosvika vokanganisa tichitaura navo. Hatisi kurwa kapa, hakuna munhu anopikisana nemumwe achiti inini ndiri right kudarika uyu. Tinenge tichingobata zvinobatika.
Kuveza nyaya yababa mupostori ngechifa pano.
Asi pamwe pacho baba muona pane dzimwe nyaya dzekuti ukaona munhu akadzikanda zvafana nekuti baba muri padare muri kutaura nyaya yakanaka padare. Munhu obva ati pari kutaurwa nyaya padare madzibaba, munhu obva ati ndokukwaisai madzibaba. Ipapo panonzi kurasa mutumbi mitatu wekunamata uone kuti unotanga wamirira nyaya padare yopedzwa. Wozoisa zvako nyaya yako kana iri yako wozoisa zvako kuseri asi yadini. Nyaya iripo ndeyekuti pane zvoda kufundwa. Senyaya yakangana baba Godi avo. Yoda kufundwa ini zvangu madzibaba. Chandogara kukuudzai pachokwadi. Inini ndiri kutotsvagawo tsananguro dzacho kuti zviri kureveiwo nekuti ndiri kuronza dzikopari dzichingotaurwa. Ende sekutaura kwamaita madzibaba kuti takanzi zvinobuda nemwaka chichi ndo zvimwe zvezvo zvatakatoparidzwawo kumashure izvozvo. Saka inini chakatobatawo semabatiro amakaitawo inini ndo mabandira asi ndichiri kutotsvaga tsananguro. Seiwo izwi rakati ichachidyiwe.
Baba wakoreni mukuti baba waJosaya vaprofita vane mutumbi mutatu.
Joshua chiremba rekaprofita. Imimi muri line renyu baba Robson nawewo mumhango nagodinozi nasasi mawirirana kuti izvi rakati vamwe mwanda wachiti inodya madhadha mhuka dzinodya madora imi mese manga muchiwirirana nawo yekuti mwati madhadha asi
mazipostori ndikutaura kusaidwaona achijoka ndaida kunzwa nawo yevanhu takamira sei
inzwai baba
tine zvakuda kazvimirira ndinoteera mwari wandinonzwisisa madhadha ndodya chikonzero handibvumi munyaya zvinehwanda dzakaparadzana kana kuti dzakabatana saka murutendo rwandinarwo ndakatenderana nechido chamwari kuti aiwa mwari wandinoteera ndinotanga ndamunzwisisa kunge vazondiparidza zvandinonzwisisa vakataura kuti haisi nyaya yehwanda dzakaparadzana inyaya yekuti zvakadonwa aiwandoteera
ndodzoka futi ipapo madzibaba mukuona ini madzibaba kumashure ukoko ndaida kutodzoka kumashure tichitonamata taidonzi nyama haidyiwe nyama haidyiwe patine kuzoenda nekuzoparidzwa nekuti ini ndakatoparidzwa asi mwoyo wangu madzibaba wakabva waramba nezvinandachiwe ishwadza handitodyiwe madzibaba
baba mnangu ndoda kudzoka ndikubate zvishoma somusati maendera mberi pamakamva nyama haidyiwe tipatsanure kanzi haidyiwe nemazuva here kana ngaikatonzi komburita idyiwe
tichitobatwa pamusoro mambo tichibatwa pamusoro gaindijeke tichitobatwa pamusoro mambo kubatwa pamusoro kutovambira takatonzi nyama haidyiwe muzuva rechina zvaitonzi pakatorarwa nyama nekugeza nesipo maona muzuva rechina zuva rechina
aiwa majeka panyaya iyoyo
asi nekuzofamba nemukuparidzwa ndo patakatonikanzi aiwa madzibaba chakatorambwa muizwi redu isusu zvakatonzi kudeura asi kana mina rimo
asi baba munhungu panhau yekunzi makaparidzwa pakuti nhau yekuti nyama haidyiwe musechina makazombobvunza here kuti yakauya nani
takabvunza mambo patsanuro takanzi yakauya nasandasi naye nyama yaina sandasi panyatsinavo paropa rake aine muchinjiko wokudzora iye muchinjiko paropa rake akadzi pauda kuenda kuona matira muguta aukunja nekuti muguta mune mashava arimo saka ukadya nyama iyoyo ndaona wadyiwa nechi neguta iyo saka sasadya nyama iweyo ndo mazwa ndakazoechiswa ipapo asi
munhu akapatsana bafunoko musati maenda kurefa munhu akapatsana muropa vanhu akapatsana chokwadi ndobva achiendera mberi chienda futi panhau yekuti zuva resanda because maende nhau kwayo
resande madzibaba rechitojeka sande inini zvangu ndechitofunda sande inini madzibaba sande ini ndakatozi sande iri rakagadzirwa nemaprofita ndo vamwe vacho vanana sandasa vakagadzira zuva resande isi zuva ratakasiyirwa isuso izuva rechina nefriday iroro zuva rakatonzi hakuna anoritsima zuva iroro
saka baba godhi vauya vakatanzi pane vhesi ravaimba ndobva vatsina ndobva vati zuva resandisema tirakakumbirirwa because iyo nhau yamatara pamunhungu mwazati ndangoisira panzira because ndaona kuti inovaka bopoto kana gakava risingazokwanise kuti vamwe vanhu varinzwisisa saka imi pamaibata muchitaura nhau yekudya nyama ndatoti mupostori akachokwadi because iyo nyaya indoiziva
pakutokumbirwa kwacho futi kutoba nemubvunzo kuti akakumbirira ndiani nekuti izwi revakatumwa madzibaba ndo rakasiyira vanhu pamberi pechinamata vaprofita vakadzi hapana chavachaisa pamberi pesangano chava kungopinda mumuforo wakatocherwa kare maona saka zvinotoreva kuti ndosafana mbodzo
sekutaura pamaita kuti vabafarira vakakumbirira vachitiwo vakunopinda pamunyengetero vavo vakunopinda muguta vanopinda muguta ndo pavakazonokumbirira zvakare vapostori vachikumbira vachiti isusu tiri kushanda muzuva rechina muzuva rechishanu kuna kesari zuva resatadhe tinenge tiri kumabasa saka zvanga zvadii kuti tinoungana tononamata muzuva resani zvinero takurikumbirira ritsive zuva rechishanu
ndizozvo baba but izwi pane vanje apa rakati kesari wanditambudza mune ino nyika kesari wanditambudza mune izwi rakatoimba nyaya yakesari iwe saka kesari madzibaba chido chevanhu kesari chido chevanhu maona saka izwi madzibaba richitojeka raitoti zvido zvevanhu hazvitadzise kufamba kwangu inini isu saka patinoda kujeka ndepekuti vanhu vari kutevera zvido zvevanhu asi zvido zveizwi vari kuseri nazvo
right vana baba right panhau iri kutaurwa yese iyi ivo vana sandasa kumakumbiriro kumaitiro avakaita ndivo vanhu vakarasa vanhu tiri kutenderana navo
ichokwadi ichokwadi ichocho
saka zvinoreva kuti muromo wataurwa nasandasi wakarasa nyika yese
wakarasa ma-thousands emapostori
ma-thousand mamiliyoni baba mamiliyoni akaraswa
uri kutoona kuti izvezvizvi tingatanga kuti tinoda kutera tsinga dzekunamata idzi tinodzokera futi panhau yezvitupa nemabheti nechine vanhu vazhinji vanodzoka zvichinzi zvakakumbira kuti tizwane right anozvikumbirira ndiani izvi rakati kuseri kwangu hakuna anochinja zvatinenge daisa hazvichiti
daudi ndidzoke
Badira. Masoga.
tsananguro ndopa mweya wacho ufu munozosii ndokuziva kwemweya wacho uwo
Ni masoga.
ndomaziro masaba
Kasingaiti. Soja mabeti ne uyu.
iri panyaya yokunzi sande hanti mweya mutsvene pape wakati kune zuva rakapedza mumazuva tikanzi zuva rechishanu izuva refriday ndakanzi kuvhuro state kanzi
Tinashe. Tinashe.
dati handiti takanzonzwa nemweya mutsvene mazuva ose mazuva ekunamata tikanzi pane zuva rakamedza pamazuva ose sani zvakaipa here kunzi tawanikwa tiri musangano mukati mezuva resvondo
ngatipindure papo madzibaba pamati mazuva ese ndeekunamata tiri kudzimba dzedu madzibaba tona tichisika munamato muteuro mapanzisa madzibaba tiri musangano muteuro yatona tichinamata muteuro tichinamata muteuro ndo inozodirwa muzuva rechina nefriday kunamata zvedu zveutaungana zvedu madzibaba izvi rakati pamunomungana handingatadzi kutaura asi iroro zuva iro kuti mimika rava nechido chenyu saka muchido chenyu yekuti maimba vhesi eizwi haringatadzi kutaura pamberi penyu asi harisiro zuva rine chitsiridzo neizwi zuva resandi harisiro zuva rine chitsiridzo neizwi
asi harina kuipa kuenda kunofugama tichinamata tiri mukati mezuva iro
kunamata aiwa kunamata kutaura zvenyu zvakataurwa madzibaba mechidzokorera natsananguro hapana chakaipa madzibaba kudzokorera tsananguro dzakaiswa neizwi hapana chakaipa mechitoprofita hapana chakaipa kuti munge mechitozviita asi
baba munhungu matiza mbijani rakanzi pazuva remunyengetero rekuti
vakazvitireka ndezvemazuva izvo ngakungonamatwa everyday tonamatwa friday
the more you cleanse your heart the more like you have to have peace in your heart and love. You understand? So that's why most of us, I always tell people that I always live spiritual. I love to live spiritual because life is spiritual. Some of us have